So today's topic for the presentation is CPCSC guidelines for laboratory animal facilities. So what is CPCSC? CPCSC is a committee for the purpose of control and supervision of experiments on animals. It is a statutory body or a committee of animals which look under the Animal Husbandry, Dairying, Fisheries, and it comes under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, that is PCA Act of 1960. So here are the contents which I'll be discussing in the presentation. Personal hygiene, location of animal facilities to the laboratories, facilities in the laboratories available, and anesthesia. So first comes the personal hygiene. So it is very essential that animal care staff should maintain high standard of personal cleanliness. So people taking care of these animals should wear the PPE kits, that is the personal protective equipments, they should wear footwears, they should change their uniforms, they should have their showers while entering the animal facilities. Also, the clothing should be suitable while entering the animal facilities. These clothing should be free from the toxic substances and hazardous microbial agents. Next comes like it is acceptable to use the disposable gloves, mask, head covers, coats or coveralls and the shoe covers while entering the animal facilities, like it's shown in the pictures. And also there are washing and showering facilities which are there when one person enters the animal facilities. And also the person should take care that he or she should not eat, drink, smoke or apply any cosmetics or perfume while entering the animal facilities. So next comes the location of animal facilities to the laboratories. So location of animal labs are to be situated at that place which require physical separation of animal facilities from the personal area, like offices, rooms, education room, training room. And also these laboratory animals should not be exposed to dust, smoke, noise, wild rodents, insects and birds. So their separation can be accomplished by having animal quarters in separate buildings or floors, or it can be wings. Like it is shown in the picture that rats are kept in a cuboidal box which are made of glass, and the food is given from the upside. Also, it is possible to place animals housing area adjacent to near labs but separated from them by barriers as entry locks, corridors or floors. Next comes the occupancy of the animals that are to be kept in the animal facilities. So there are 50 to 60% room area, total constructed area is kept for the animals, and the other is kept for the utilization purposes like stores, washing area, office staff, machine rooms, quarantine area and the corridors. And it contains two types of environments of animal room, like the macro environment and the microenvironment. So, since animals are very sensitive to environment changes, sharp fluctuation in temperatures, humidity, light, sound, and ventilation, these all should be avoided so that animal can be there safely. So next comes the physical facilities, what are there in the animal facilities. So first comes the building materials. So building material, while constructing the animal facilities, building material should be moisture proof, fire resistant. It should be have seamless materials that are most desirable for interior surfaces, which includes vermin and pest resistance. Next comes the corridors. So corridors are supposed to be wide enough to facilitate the movement of personnel as well as the equipment, and it should be clean. Next comes the utilities. So in utilities, it contains the water lines, drain pipes and electrical connections which are there in the laboratories and outside the laboratories. Next comes the animal room doors. So animal room doors should be rust free, vermin and dust proof. It is properly within their frames and should provide within an observation window which is made up of glass. Next comes the facilities. Next comes the facilities for sanitizing equipments and supplies. So there is an area for sanitizing cages and ancillary equipments, which is essential for the adequate water supplies. And one more is there, that is exterior windows. So exterior window, it comes like the window is there, it also known as the observation window, through which the animal observation is done. Next comes the floors. So basically floors should be smooth, moisture proof, non-absorbent, skid proof. Also it is resistant to wear, acids, solvents, and have adverse effects of detergent and disinfectants. So next comes the drains. So these drains are floor drains are not essential in all rooms because of the rodents. So where floor joints are used, the floor should be sloped, and drain taps kept filled with the water or corrosion-free mesh. Next comes the walls and ceilings. So there are walls and ceilings should be free of cracks, unsealed utility penetration, or imperfect junction with doors, ceilings, floors, and corners are there. And to prevent and surface materials should be capable of withstanding scrubbing with detergents and disinfectants. Next comes the storage areas. So there are separate storage areas which are designed for feeding, bedding, caging, and material not in use for the animals. Also refrigerated storage separated from other cold age storage. They are essential storage house for the dead animals and the animal tissue waste. Next comes the experimental area. So it is a separated area from the place where animals are housed. Next comes the environmental factor which affects the animal laboratories or the animals which are there in the labs. So firstly is the temperature and humidity control. So temperature and humidity control prevents variation due to changing climatic condition or difference in the number and kind of room occupants. So likewise air conditioning is effective in regulating environmental parameters. So the temperature maintained between the range of 18 to 29 degrees Celsius in the animal lab facilities, and the humidity range varies from 30% to 70%. Next comes the ventilation. So there should be a good ventilation for the animals. So animal facilities and human occupancy areas should be ventilated properly. Next comes the power and lighting. So the electrical system should be safe and provide appropriate lighting and a sufficient number of power outlets. So a time controlled lighting system should be used to ensure a regular diurnal lighting cycle wherever required. So emergency power should be available in the event of power failure. Next comes the noise control. So the facility should be provided with noise-free environment, as noise control is an important consideration in designing an animal facility. So concrete walls are more effective than metal or plaster walls containing noise because their density reduces sound transmission. Next comes the anesthesia. So anesthesia is like a sedative which is given to animals before performing any experiments on them. So it must also be ensured that anesthesia is given for the full duration of the experiment. At no stage the animal is conscious to perceive pain during the procedure. So the drugs which are given in anesthesia for the animals are given in Annexure 5, which I'll be discussing in the next slides. So the sedatives, analgesics, and anesthetics should use to control pain or distress under the experiment. Anesthetic agents generally affect the cardiovascular system, respiratory, and thermoregulatory mechanism in addition to the CNS, that is central nervous system. So here is the Annexure 5, which shows which drugs are given to which animal by which route of administration, like IM, that is intramuscular, IV, intravenous, or IP, interparenteral. So anesthesia before using actual anesthetics, the animals are proposed for anesthesia by overnight fasting and using pre-anesthetics. So atropine is most commonly used anticholinergic agents. Local or general anesthesia may be used depending on the type of surgical procedure. So local anesthetics are used to block the nerve supply to a limited area and are used only for the minor and rapid procedures. This should be carried out under an expert supervision for regional infiltration or surgical site, nerve blocks, and for epidural and spinal anesthesia. A number of general anesthetics agents are used in the form of inhalants. General anesthetics are also used in the form of intravenous and intramuscular injections, such as barbiturates, as I have shown in you in the annexure 5. These are the references from which I have took the guidelines for the personal hygiene and other sorts.